Hey guys, today I'm gonna share with you 5 horrifying things in WoW. It doesn't necessarily have to be locations. It can also be unexplained events or bugs that I have seen and still don't have an answer to. Number 1. Cursed location in Dun Morogh. In the dwarven land of Dun Morogh, there is a certain area up in the mountains to the west. It is a plain field of only snow with nothing special. And by nothing special, I really mean there isn't anything special here these days. However, back during earlier expansions, there was a certain location that had weird noises coming from it. During Legion, there were demonic whispers coming from this exact location. Here is some footage I took during the old days of it. Quite spooky. Even weirder is that even before Legion, back in Mists of Pandaria, there was another sound coming from it instead. That sounded like a female goblin fighting. Also, interestingly enough, you only heard the sound when you move your camera. These days, it is completely silent. I do not know exactly what expansion or patch changed the voices, or removed them completely. My personal theory is that underneath the snow, there is, or was, a testing chamber that Blizzard used for audio when it comes to different NPCs. I still can't figure out exactly what NPC or creature made the sounds that you just heard. I'll link some videos in the description, with other people hearing the voices on this location, just in case you're a skeptic. Also, I've not explored this location back in Classic WoW or TBC. Maybe the explorers of you would be interested to check it out, if there was anything back here during the day. Number 2. Deadly Seesaw. During Battle for Azeroth, me and a few friends were having fun with the toy Darkmoon Seesaw. The toy that simply pushes you up in the air if Lunk is on it. However, something really weird happened when using it. My friend Lazarus got thrown on a path that went straight through the ground. Even weirder is that this happened twice in a row for him. It ultimately ended in a disconnect. The same thing happened to Valkyria in our group. We tested for hours to see what was the cause of the issue. We thought that maybe the seesaw pushed you into a flight path that bites straight through the ground. If the seesaw knockup and the in-game flight master use a similar system, since flight path bugging out isn't unheard of. I personally never had this happen to me. Neither did my friend Life Devourer. A theory I have is that it can only happen to female characters. Because of what I've seen of this, is that the only thing in common for all the players that got thrown through the world is that they play female. It seems really unlikely there's a requirement to make it work. Perhaps it's just a coincidence. Might also have something to do with latency, or just a real lucky timing. Who knows? Number 3. Odd combat location in Stormwind. This is a weird one that I noticed back in the days. When Randall is spinning around in Whirlwind, there are certain locations in Stormwind that will put you into combat, even when they aren't hitting anything at all. You can see that I'm generating rage, and I cannot mount up. But the combat log says I'm not hitting anything at all. It might be similar to the Unseen in Duskwood, the NPCs that are invisible. However, those mobs can die, and they also show up on the combat log. Also, if you're a Demon Hunter, you can see them with the Spectral Sight. Unlike Stormwind. It seems like Swarming Mist or Blessed Hammer are enabled to make you end up in combat. Apparently, only some AoE type of effects seem to work. I spent time scouring most of Stormwind, trying to discover the exact locations that are bugged. And I found the following locations. I also found a really weird immortal rat that didn't take any damage. My theory on this one is that some invisible unit might be present that accidentally got added in 8.3 when Horrific Vision of Stormwind were tested and added. Since the Horrific Vision uses the same map as Stormwind, they might be connected. I went into the Horrific Vision and tried to see if the scenario also had these bugged locations, but I didn't find a single one. Not even in the Maeg district, which in the real Azeroth had the most of them. I've not tested in Orgrimmar if they got similar weird places. Perhaps you Horde players are able to. Number 4. The Emerald Nightmare. Emerald Nightmare is a mysterious place, and there's one special bug that happened to me back in Legion. If you go too far down, you will instantly die. But before that happens, your character starts to escape from your camera. However, if you were to die, and then someone else resurrects you while being in the camera-free zone, you will be able to venture down into the depth of the nightmare, skipping the death wall completely. This allows me to freely explore the Grizzly Hills of Emerald Nightmare. Keep in mind my camera stayed weird during the whole exploration. It was locked hundreds of yards above my character. It can be difficult to see anything, since the fog is really thick. There are also a lot of invisible walls everywhere. The most interesting thing in the nightmare are tentacles everywhere. Broken textures. But also a friendly boss spirit, flying around the world tree of Grizzly Hills. It's untargetable, but seems to exist in most part of the raid. If you wanna see the full exploration, I'll leave a link in the description. I tried to recreate the bug. Sadly, these days, it seems like the camera keeps being stuck in one spot. Perhaps the method was fixed, or something allowed me to free my camera back in Legion. I do wonder if a similar strategy could be used to skip the deathfall at the bottom of the ocean. Perhaps it could be explored another time. Number 5. RNG. Back when I was recording my Hammer of Wrath one-shot combo, I noticed something was really off with my hammer. I had a 37% crit chance, thanks to Seraphine and a winning Wrath. However, I could try upwards of 6 to 7 times before I actually got a crit when doing the combo. This happened over and over. At first I thought it was normal bad RNG, but at one point I started thinking something was really bugged with my Hammer of Wrath, or the crit modifiers. The worst part came when I was going to showcase it in a duel. Let me show you how many times in a row I didn't have a crit. The combo is going to the Maw to obtain a damage boost. Then I head back to Elvin to use Ashen Hollowed, instantly followed by Hammer of Wrath. You can check my stopwatch and buffs to make sure the footage ain't rigged, such as if I were to cut out any attempt I managed to get a crit. Oh, I didn't crit. Oh, I give up. Okay, I'm starting. Okay, let's go.
What the fuck is that tail? Oh my god, it's like having a bone on your
God, it's
back.
not gonna crit. It's horrible.
What is that, dude?
Third time's the charm, Carol, 37% crit. What are we doing here, Carol? Are you summoning like a ritual of dog? Okay, let's go. I swear it's not 37%, there's no way. It's probably 37% crit chance, Carol, do you believe that? Boom! Yay, no crit, 37% crit chance. 37% crit.
What? No.
No crit, the 6th
Which
time
one
in
is
a row.
that?
I didn't crit. Of course not. Oh,
How many times have you tried now?
6 or 7. 6 or 7. It is bite wings, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna... Let's go. No crit. 7 times. Yeah, definitely something wrong. I have no potion. Shit, okay, who cares? I'm gonna try.
Fuck, I spent money
Now I'm
to
gonna
get
crit
it.
because I don't have a potion carries now. Okay, now it's gonna work. Look, when I have a potion, it doesn't. I mean, now we found the bug. We found the bug. I didn't crit. Never mind. Okay, well, 8 times. Let's keep going. Maybe some with a 2-hand. If you have a 2-handed protection, you don't get a crit. Do you believe in the RNG? No crit. 9 times in a row. There is something that's wrong. I don't know what it is. Yeah, with wings it should be 37%. 1 out of 3. I do not have this. That's what I've been complaining the last few days of not getting crits. There's something literally wrong with this combo. I don't know if it's the way you're doing the abilities. And we are going. Oh, I forgot my potion. Shit, that's game.
I'm going with
No
the leaf.
crit.
I'm a noob.
10 times. Oh. I've been kind of interested to see how far I can go without critting. I got a cooldown. Okay, there we go. No crit. 11 times. Could it be something with PP? Or Ashen Hollow? I think it's. I wonder if it fits with Ashen Hollow. Now let's see how far we can go without critting. This is 11th time in a row. Something really wrong. Maybe I can make a separate video. I went 50 times with no crit. It's good though, Kara. We're at like, what is it? 11 out of 50. No crit. Okay, it is starting to. I didn't crit. Oh my lord.
There's so many combos you can do. Like,
I
it's
crit
actually
that.
Oh,
insane.
no, you got it.
What's the difference? I don't know. It took me a total of 14 tries in a row to get a single crit on my Hammer Wrath, with 37% crit chance. The odds of this happening is about 0.25%, or 1 out of 400. While not impossible, just really unlikely, adding in all the earlier attempts trying to get footage and not critting makes me think something is definitely bugged. Might be the sequence of actions. Maybe a vending rot is not adding in crit fast enough to register for my Hammer Wrath. or something tempered bugged with the RNG seed. But it's really hard to be certain of that. Have you had anything similar happen to you? Any case where you're sure something's off with RNG? Feel free to share in the comments. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more.